Moorish American Proclamation of Birthrights and Autonomy. The United States in emphasis bears witness to will live, no nation will live, will be, no nation, correction, will be free to live out its creed personally, personify the grand principles and attain unlimited capacity of development while under the yoke, laws, and tyranny of another government. Neither has the Moorish American been free to themselves in 140 years since the Emancipation Amendments of granted privileges, separated from the rights guaranteed to all free national citizens in the body of her Constitution. The Moorish Americans, through rights of divinity, have come forth as clean and pure people, empowered with inalienable birthright to be upright, independent, and fearless nation. In accordance with the Declaration of Human Rights, we have the human right to be known as one true free national name by number with divine constitution, officials of government, attaché, and ambassadors and principles of our flag and holy book. We have the inherent right to the lands, air, waterways originally civilized, inhabited, and cultivated by our ancient forefathers, and ensure the sanctity of our men, women, and children and their prosperity. That to secure the rights, there are the government instituted among people, deriving their powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever the form of the government becomes destructive of the ends, it then becomes just of the people to abandon it and to institute a new government, laying its foundations on the omnipotent principle of love, truth, freedom, and justice, and organizing its powers in which such form to them shall seem likely to affect their safety and happiness. While evils to man are sufferable, evils are requested to man to provide new guards for our future safety. All judicial and covenants based on 1863 ratified the 14th Amendment jurisdiction, which intends to recycle slavery, congressionally abolished by the 13th Amendment. Negligent of status and it want of lawful jurisdiction are hereby declared as ex post facto and void of all judicial, civil, and divine substance. Naturalization, the process by which the whole person in full conscious of nationality by birth and descent applies for citizenship. A choice among all free national constitutions have been politically denied to be ex-slaves, and has no record document since enacted of the 13th Amendment to reflect the naturalization clause by treaty application, nor judicial, nor petition, nor declaration of alliance in true intercourse to the Moorish American of lawful age and be accepted by choice as naturalized citizens of the United States, being Negro, colored, black, African, American, etc., are not nationalities that bear one free national descent name of forefathers used in the semblance thereof. Ergo, the Negro state has never designed to muster the noble status of true citizenship or qualify to bear and reach the federal questions of denationalization to the choice of nationalization to produce a colorable citizenship, citizenry, leaving a residue of mental slavery, which has been existing condition until now. Therefore, there is no distinction between a black slave and a free black on the credit of righteousness, hence the matter of bearing of slave names. The standard of selective citizenship are forever sealed either by natural descent, choice, or naturalization. The United States has always been so-called colored people that were exclusively and not especially in judicial affirmation of Dred Scott decision. Unconsciously, Moors have been using slave names, not these labels are unacceptable with the Cree musters among free naturalized citizens, making black, excluding Indians not taxed, as of 3/5 of all persons subjected to perpetual taxation without true representation as the members of a free national descent name. High diligence of honor and glory are due to for the contrib- contrib- contributions and application and accomplishment of people unjustly siphoned by other hosted as their own, because the practice of the credibility, trust, and reliance are misplaced. The component of the iron hand of oppression is placed upon the people within the bounds of the 14th and 15th Amendment and has been denied reparated nationhood and the labor of all good works and deeds will glorify their owner. The 14th and 15th Amendment were ratified in full light of the Supreme Court's decision, Dred Scott, 1856, which declared denaturalized Africans, whether Negro, slave, free Negro, is still a Negro and can never muster a naturalized status of United States citizen. This decision has been overturned, but an ex post facto concurrent tortfeasors of the subject. This irrelevancy of whether a Negro is a slave or free is reiterated in Section 4 of the Fourth Amendment. We sustain leadership among ourselves due to the long systems of education of free status within the human family while shielding the grandeur of the means U.S. citizenship, our nobility shines through the revised identifications of abolished slave labels. The abyss of slavery is evil and sinful when the sons of men of our equal to sovereign powers set rules over ourselves for our empire due to found freedom under nationalized citizenship. The peace of all society depends on justice of the individual's safe enjoyment of all possessions. Yet the so-called black person, being a colorable American citizen, is a self-possessed. The gold and silver commerce belong to the citizen, and because all persons born or naturalized are real property under the laws of the United States, so-called African American, an annual of $750 billion consumers, yet no true wealth and no, none own possessions as people, since it is in the nature of the chattel to be the owner. The mass production of Negro, colored, and black people only in America was designed for them to be autonomous themselves from this die of court and state owned slavery alone. We had no rights that the true citizens were bound to respect. We could never enjoy the peace of society while latent in perpetual sin of slavery. Negro, black, colored can never receive divine rights unmolested that granted the privilege of the Negro vote counted as one man, while the three-fifth clause cloaked the esoteric person, rendering a peopleless people. The clandestine three to make one ballot, the discretion to cast hinder, thither, or wherever to favor their will. 6 score and 15 years of post-slavery and emancipation of Moorish nationals have not yielded yet their nationalization, nationalization, civilization, reparations, nor self-education, but depleted it for the economical, political, industrial, befitted in the justice of the Moorish Americans to best honor the benevolence of the government through the treaty and friendship, rather than be a census tumor on the body of the state. The colonies, corporations, towns, cities, homes, travel, and means planted are our own, and members shall enjoy the fruits of the labor, security, happiness, consistent within the observance of our own laws. The glory shall be exalted to the world as products of ingenuity. We as free nationals have our own leaders and wise people to consult among, with freedom in hearts, with the opinion that of them of magistrates and ministers are wise. Families with land, health, autonomy can smile and flourish of arts and gain strength from science, improve benefit of the hands inherited by the sons and daughters. The U.S. government confounds the historical die of slave weakened people in illustrious black history that severs us from worthiness of our ancient forefathers, ostracizes us from families of nations and human when, from whence we, the Moorish, the founders, and they derive. No apology, gratitude, compensation is to be paid for survivors of 400 years of slavery in America. The later 225 of which were under the American flag. Our system of education stepped into moral nationalism and service degrees of character of color. Religion forced upon slaves during the time of slavery yielded of God that there is nor our own grace with our divine national freedom of we, as pure and clean people of our system of religion and education, are squared to perpetuate the true image likeness through adherence to our accomplishments and contributions to civilization prevalent to promote our generations. Therefore, we, the representatives of the clean and pure, but not exclusively to all families of the Bays and Elves, and assembling of the great grand body under protection, the guidance and salvation of the great God of our forefathers, Master of the day of judgment, for the resolution intends our action do in our free national name. Proclaim and declare we are anointed people, free, upright, and autonomous. The Moorish Americans are clean and pure and have neither debts to the United States, allies, enemies, nor any nation of the foreign, nor domestic to the North American continent, nor do we have obligations economically, socially, politically, for all we are of the evergreens planted atop the grave of perpetuated mental slavery here in Northwestern Hemisphere.